Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome. For those who are watching us in the VOD, I am an avocado today.
Hi. Avocado.
So,
return to orange cat Gato.
I am orange. So, today, we're not going to be having a couple of, one of our players, Taurin, is not going to be here. Court's had some things she has to do, so she's not going to be showing up today to the session, and, we kind of waited for Bip a little bit. If he shows up mid-game, I mean, he shows up. We're still gonna have him. If not, it's all good. We're gonna have the Rexmoa and Ambrose adventure episode.
Hello.
How did you know it's what I wanted for my birthday?
Hey, it is your birthday. Yeah, that is exactly what.
Yeah, I always talk about how I want to go on a duo adventure with
your friend Ambrose for your birthday.
I mean, honestly, it would be kind of fun to have like small like duo adventures.
I mean, yeah, we can 100% do that. I mean, if people get busy, that's what I told people. Like, I guess right now that we're kind of moving the plot forward, we haven't been able to do those, but like before, we could have done those.
Especially when there was the whole thing with you starting your shop expansion. So like, it's kind of, there's not a lot of free time to do things, and it was kind of a little bit of a rush because of that.
Exactly. It was, oh lord, don't remind me. I have to go to work tomorrow, god damn it. Oh, it's fine, it's all good. So, let's see, somebody flip a coin, do a D2, same thing, to see who has to do the recap of last session.
You know, I actually used to have a coin on my table for this exact purpose, and now it's gone because I moved.
Ah, yes.
Alright, who's 1 and who's 2, so I can imagine the outcome in my head before I hit enter.
I am 2.
Alright.
Okay, so I want it to be 2. Alright, let's go. Fuck.
Alrighty, Mr. Rexmoa, what happened in the last session if you want to give us a nice little recap?
Alright, I will try my best, because...
Did I post my notes last time?
It has been 2 weeks.
It has been 2 weeks, yes, that is true.
So we came back from the ball, the charity ball, and we all had lore to drop on each other. I think Ambrose and Rin were there first before everyone from the party arrived, and we all just like took a lore dump on each other, and we and Rexmoa explained the information that he gleaned about the assortment of evil nobles like Thrail and Dusan, and I always forget the third one.
Alabaster.
Alabaster.
Yeah, because Dusan is Aaron.
Yeah, of House Alabaster. And the major parts were that they're working with the Saints, and they're concocting something that we don't fully know of quite yet. And they're also working to get Borealis and her sister and House Treshul in trouble, so they can be eliminated, since they're one of the few, like, not corrupt noble families in the upper district of Port Strail. So this information was shared, and Ambrose and Rin shared that they found a monkey in a box, and that the implication is that there's a way to transfer what is seemingly the soul of a living creature into the body of an automaton, where it can sustain itself as long as it gets power, but it is also trapped there with no current way of getting back in its original vessel, even though the body that the soul gets transferred out of seems to kind of like keep itself alive in a way without being conscious. Yeah,
the monkey comatose state.
Yeah, it's like being in a magical coma. And so Lady Borealis got to work, hiding all the incriminating things around her place. We had to, hide the monkey in a box, and then we had a whole conversation about the counselor and their potential identity as someone who was also a blank in a box.
It's funny because it is incriminating evidence for everybody except for like the actual good people.
And so, yeah, they are expecting a visit from the counselor, potentially, which is bad news. And honestly, after this, it kind of becomes blurry. I know, like, the last act of last session was about Kipper and their Titan. Titan of Fire. I know.
It's also important to note the meeting that Ambrose and Ren happened with the counselor, because the counselor did leave a schematic for something that probably has to do with what Rexmoa had found out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We could talk about that real quick, because we found out the following things. It's something that requires a ton of power, which is being supplied via the largest stratagem tanks that have ever been seen in Port Strail. And yeah, there's that blueprint who we couldn't, like, us lay people couldn't really comprehend, and Borealis, with all her knowledge, still couldn't really get the whole picture of it. And we also know of the workings of the Shadow Druids to supply the Saints with kind of like test subjects, which is where Rin and Ambrose ended up adventuring, like the session before this one.
Mm-hmm. That's where we found Echoes.
Yes. Echoes.exe. And yeah, we all went to bed, and Rexmoa got his bird back. They made a noble sacrifice during the party. Kipper stayed in the same room as Ambrose, I think, and had a terrible, terrible dream, I think. And yeah, the dream was essentially about Cadzius and their relationship with Kipper, and them trying to kind of like understand each other more in like a messed up, like uneven power dynamic kind of way, where Cadzius just wants Kipper to do their bidding, essentially. Maybe. They didn't exactly spell it out, but it definitely seemed like that. And I think we didn't even make it to the morning. It just ended with the dream.
You are correct, exactly. We saw what would have been Kipper's dream, talking to one of the titans of the world. But you see, Kipper is not the only one who also received a call of a titan, per se. As a matter of fact, Ambrose, you also drift off to sleep. Your sleep is different. You feel comfort and safety as you are, in this slumber. Eventually, your mind starts drifting away. You start seeing colors and hearing sounds all over the place, until your vision comes to a familiar place. You know where this place is. You have, in fact, been here before. You remember the scents, the sounds, the feeling, all similar to the one previous dream you had. The only difference as of right now is that you're not in the same area that you were before in your previous dream. You are in a little bit of a clearing. You find less trees, and the ground where you're on is less grassy, more rocky, and you can hear the sounds of running water from up ahead, which makes you start walking towards it in curiosity. And what you see is a running brook up ahead. And across from it, a familiar figure. You know this figure, of course. Crouched by the water, washing her hands, is Chi, the fairy that you have met a while back. You can see she is in her human form, the smaller one, because, well, she does have different sizes. And outside of her normal attire, you can see that she is dressed in some sort of leather armor. She does have some clothes below it. And her hair that's usually flowing and open is tied in a braid. She lifts her head to look up, and her eyes just widen in surprise. And she goes up, she stands up and goes over to you, and she says, Ambrose! Oh, goodness. Now, this is another surprise. One I hadn't expected so soon, but a very welcome one. And as she gets up and gets close to you, you can see that there is some smudges of dirt on her clothes, and she has a wound on one of her arms.
First reaction, of course, as she speaks to me, I will, move toward her as I would normally and say, I, too, am rather surprised. This was much faster to see you than I expected. And I'll take notice of... I'm not really used to seeing her dirty in the slightest, as I'm so used to seeing her in the jar where nothing can really touch her at all. And especially seeing a wound is also surprising in the fact that looks what I would consider battle ready.
Yeah, you would be correct.
And so immediately following that statement, I will walk a bit closer and say, you a bit different than usual. And I'll kind of put my hand forth and kind of let the warmth of Vithius kind of gather in my hand and kind of offer Vithius' touch to her.
Okay. As you do this, you place your hand over the wound, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah. Of course, I am going to... At first, it's more of a offering. It's kind of it's me basically asking if I'm okay to do it without actually saying it out loud.
Right. Just kind of like slowly going like, you know, can I?
Yeah.
I get you.
Though I assume she probably wouldn't refuse.
Right, yeah, you can tell, like, she just doesn't really give off any, like, indications of moving her arm or herself away. And as your hand hovers on top of the wound, she looks at it and she goes, oh, don't worry about this too much. I could have healed it easily enough. And what she does is that she places her hand over yours, and you see her hand also gathers some of this warm energy, magical energy, as you're healing with Vithius' power, and her own healing would close the wound. This time, the wound closes entirely and leaves no scar whatsoever. The arm is as good as new. And then, as the healing stops, she looks over at you, Ambrose, and she smiles. And she goes, I know you're probably worried about what has just happened to me, but you'll have to trust me. Everything will be fine. However, and you see a little bit of a frown as she is, pondering. And she continues, "Are you all right? Last time I felt as if there was more to say, but something happened, didn't it? Why Vithius wished you to be sent back. Is everything... how is everybody?"
I will stare at the place that the wound once was for a few moments and take it in words, and I'll look up to the sky of the area here, the Feywild, and I'll say, it was, well, a lot occurred. I am unsure why, but Ixis flooded the upper city during the Inventors' Fair. Our friends, they were caught up in it. They are fine, but it was pertinent for me to go there.
As you mention what happened and how the other Titan flooded the city, she places her hand over her mouth to, like, with a little gasp. But she sighs in relief, hearing that everybody's okay. And she nods and goes, "Oh, that is definitely a very good reason as to why you were sent back." And she takes your hand, Ambrose, and she tugs it as she starts to sit down on the ground, legs crossed. And she goes, "I thought you had more to say, but it can be very difficult to converse. But right here, well, we are in touch with our mother at all times." She gestures over to the sky, which, as this place is, you can see the large silhouette of Vithius's, resting head in the sky, as if it was like a gigantic being just there. Always kind of out of reach. And she goes, "Would you like to speak with her? I think it has been a while."
Of course, letting she, essentially bring me down to a sitting position, I offered no resistance in the slightest. And the first thing that I'll say is, I always have more to say. I just don't know how to word it. And I'll think for a moment as she mentions Vithius, and the energy lines that spiral around my appearance, they kind of glow a bit brighter at the mention of speaking with Vithius. And I'll say, is that really something I'm worthy of receiving? A moment with Vithius is more than I should ask for.
And at that, she would giggle at what you're saying, and she goes, "What do you mean? Of course you're worth all the moments." And she gestures over at your sword that keeps on your back, even though while you were sleeping you didn't have it. Now you are pretty much with your adventuring gear. And it goes, that right there is proof that you are worth it. And that you can have the audience that you like. I don't think that she would entrust you with such gift if you were not worthy of it.
I glance at the stone that, I can only barely see it when it's over my shoulder like this. And I'll look to Chi again, and the energy lines kind of pulse rather brightly at the comments. And though my expression stays rather stoic, I'll say, I appreciate your words. I know I vowed to be better, not just for others, but myself as well. I'm finding it hard still.
Well, it is a test. All Titans test each and every one of their stone bearers. So, you shouldn't worry too much. I think you're doing a great job. And she smiles and just kind of lifts her gaze over at the sky where you can see the silhouette of Vithius. And she goes, in a place like this, we can always talk to Vithius. I can show you how you would like.
There is not a moment of hesitation, and I nod and say, please, I would greatly appreciate that.
She nods and lets go of your hand, and she goes, all right, now grab your sword, close your eyes, and focus on the stone. Feel its warmth, and focus on its energy.
I will take my sword and close my eyes and try and feel the energy that comes off of the stone and the warmth.
It is not difficult for you to do so, Ambrose. The stone almost immediately starts to give this enveloping warmth around you. The best way I can describe it is as an embrace of a loved one. Then as you close your eyes, you start to feel inside of your mind small flickers of energy go around not your peripheral because you have your eyes closed, but this darkness of, not seeing. And she will speak again, and she says, focus on the sounds of the nature around you. All of Mother's creations. And listen to your heart. It's beat. It's bound to Vithius. And as she is speaking, you can hear her voice kind of getting a little bit more echoey and kind of fading further and further away as, you start to feel kind of sparks in your brain as the power of Vithius surrounds you. And Ambrose, you physically feel that you lift yourself off the ground. At first, it's just a gentle hover as you feel your body almost weightless. And you are floating. You can no longer hear chi or anything around you, but you can feel this lack of weight as the ground below you fades away. And then, perhaps in a very abrupt and forceful way, you are shot up, like you fly into the sky, immediately opening your eyes to see how you yourself have been like pushed into the skies. You see below this land that you don't recognize. It's very different from the normal world you are used to. Many colors, many features of the land that you cannot really recognize because, of course, this is not your world. This is something else in its entirety. And obviously you can see the large, almost unreachable silhouette of Vithius. And then you feel your body gaining some sort of momentum as you get shot forward. And you find yourself right in front of the slumbering Titan. At first, you would have thought this, it's kind of like a visual illusion or something like that. It doesn't seem like you could reach Vithius no matter how you walked, but now you are like right in front of it. And while the eyes of the Titans are closed, and while its mouth cannot really show expression, you feel it in yourself, as if Vithius was smiling. And in your head, you start feeling a little bit of a dizzy feeling as the familiar voice of the Titan speaks inside your mind. And she goes, "My child, welcome to my domain."
It takes me a moment to collect myself. There is that moment like when I shoot into the sky where I kind of like gasp and look around feeling unsure of what's exactly happening, despite the fact that I directly caused it. And now being so close to Vithius once more, it takes me a few moments to really comprehend the fact that I am in front of Vithius once again. Before the last time that I had witnessed her, and the first time that I had witnessed her, it was in the bottom of Galvathir after the incident with the dwarves. And now I am her paladin. I am not just Ambrose who is with his friends. I am the champion of Vithius with the people that he considers his family. And I will say, it is very nice to see you again.
And she goes, "While you may not see me physically, I am always with you."
I know. I feel the warmth whenever my dangerous thoughts come to me. Whenever I feel my worthiness slipping, I can feel you beside me, pushing me forward.
There's a brief moment of silence, and you see the colossal figure just kind of slightly, very slowly lift up its neck a little and shake kind of like some dirt or stone off, which for the size of that head, it's a lot. And it goes, "What would you like to talk about, my child?"
I think for a moment. There is a lot of things that I have been wanting to try and speak with Vithius about. Various things, a couple of comments I've made while in front of Viren's grave even. And after pondering for a moment, I will say, I am still struggling to understand why I was chosen. But that is not something I want to ask you about. But I do want to mention that I am thankful for the chance that you have given me. This ability that I have gained from your stone. It's allowed me to help others. It allowed me to protect Chi. And I want to thank you for that.
You feel again as if the large tortoise that, well, as I said, cannot show any expression, is smiling as it lowers its head once again to its resting position as it was before. And in your mind, once more, she speaks. And she goes, "Focus not on the why. You were chosen because you deserve it. And that is reason enough."
Though, of course, only Vithius can see it, the expression on my face shifts slightly, kind of flickering between somewhat of a small frown and smile as my eyes grow a bit watery. And I kind of wipe at the eyes momentarily with my hand and say, "Were it not for you, I'm not sure where I'd be. The same with my companions."
And again, the same feeling in your head as she starts speaking once more. She goes, "I didn't do anything. I merely showed you what you were hiding inside." And you feel on the same, like, I guess, sensation that she would be smiling, but now this time it's like a little laugh. As you know, the big Titan cannot say anything or do anything, but you feel as if it was like giggling actually. And she continues, "I am flattered even though I am not the Titan of strength. And this laugh, kind of giggle feeling repeats itself again.
I always felt that all I had was my sword, the strength in my body, my muscles, and nothing more. You, she, my companions, thanks to them I understand that there is more to me than just that. I am at least begun to learn that strength is not just of body.
And she goes, "You are a very good person. Even though the situation may not show it. And thus is why I've chosen." And the kind of happy feeling fades a little as you feel a tinge of concern, but nothing to be worried about. It's kind of like, you know, that you can feel that her expression of this happiness just kind of shifted a little. And she goes again. "My brothers and sisters have already chosen. It is a matter of the chosen themselves to show they are worthy." And then you see how it slowly, the giant colossal tortoise starts opening its eye to look at you. And then you will all face the hardest choice of your lives.
To this day, I'm sure, even before I met you, you have been aiding me in whatever way you have or could have. After I received your blessing and became your paladin, I only felt your warmth daily. All this time, I have continued to receive your aid. And yet... And I'll kind of like look down at my hand, kind of clasp my hand into itself a couple of times. And I'll look back up towards her eye and say, "I find it unfair that I have done nothing for you. What can I do to help you, a Titan? What can I do to help the other Titans? It's not just the people of Crenia that I wish to help now. I want to help you. I want to help Cadzius. I want to help Horus. I want to help Ixis. Please, what can I do to help you all as well?"
you feel the now pressure of the gaze of Vithius on you. Well, it is not an oppressive pressure, it is... Well, you're being stared at by a gigantic being right now. And in your mind, again, her voice resonates, and it goes... You are doing a lot more than what you think. Continue on this path and see it through. That is the best help I can ask for.
At this point, the energy lines along my body have grown a lot more bright. It is obvious that I'm feeling a confidence that I am not very used to. Whether it be due to Vithius' presence or my own desire to keep the whole of Crenia safe. I at least am unsure. But I will say I am glad that I am doing things somewhat right, but I know you just said it, and I know something will happen soon. Something between all of the Titans and Crenia herself. I know it will happen. I can feel it in me. I just want to ease everyone's suffering. I just want Crenia to be safe. For its people, for you, for the other Titans, for my friends.
And her voice resonates again in your mind, and she goes, and happen it will. But we cannot stop the passing of time. We can only live and enjoy through our moments. Worry not about the future. Focus on your present. And when time comes, you will make the right choice. There is a small pause as it stops speaking, as the eye slowly closes itself again to go back to this like resting position. And it goes, you may not have felt it before, but I have always been there, and I will always be there, no matter what.
The comment about enjoying the current moments that we have and the fact that I will supposedly make the right choice has my eyes watering once more, the tears actually slipping down my face. Though the energy lines maintain their golden light. I don't understand how you can be so sure of me. Your warmth is so encompassing. I feel like I can do more. But I just can't understand
And the voice again resonates in your head. Because I know you. And I've known you since the beginning.
A choice will be made. I understand. Is there anything I can do to help lead me to the correct choice? To make things best fit for the people of Crenia, you, the other Titans, and Crenia herself.
I cannot tell you what path to choose, for the choice is yours and yours alone. Even us, the Titans, have to stay back sometimes.
There is this moment where the stoic expression on my face has been kind of breaking character every once in a while, but there is this obvious moment where my eyes kind of widen as I fully realize that I won't be able to receive a true answer, or not necessarily advice, but telling me what to do. I won't receive that, and I already knew I wouldn't receive it. And I return, I kind of look down, and I take my hand and lightly rub my eyes once more. And as I look back up at Vithius, I will look a bit more determined, and I'll say, I understand. I will use the knowledge at my disposal. I will use and speak with my friends and family. Every bit of information that I have at my disposal, I will figure out what needs to be done.
And Vithius again speaks as you feel this kind of accomplished smile. Whatever the outcome may be, never forget. I am always here.
I will keep that in mind once things are settled, once things are not so perilous. I have another job after all, and I will need your warmth to help with that. I know you're already aware of what I want to do. I will need to provide that warmth for others.
And she goes, then you don't need more than to look over your shoulder. That is where I am always going to be.
I Thank you, Mother of the Earth. I do have a question for you. Can I receive an answer to why you stayed my blade against the Counselor of the Saints? And the expression on my face changes from the contentness that's been there to a little bit more of an angry one, despite the fact that I am feeling her warmth. I visibly frown, and the energy lines start to pulsate a little irregularly. I had to let those people, the corruption that dwells within the land of Crenia, go. The creatures responsible for taking advantage of children, harming them, pulling them from their homes. Responsible for parents fearing for what happened. The knowledge that those kids are suffering terrible fates, and yet I had to let them go. Pretend that my anger didn't exist. Pretend that it was for the greater good. Why did you decide that my blade did not be swung? That my ignorance of that man, that automaton, was worth my mercy, worth your mercy.
And in your mind, you hear, there is a purpose for everything and everyone. Their purpose is going to be fulfilled very soon. Vengeance is not the way. But there will be retribution.
I look at my hands for a moment, and with one, I kind of just rub the center of my palm as I stare. The first time, it was because of you that I decided to help him, to protect the Counselor. And then I saw him again. I said to him that I am your paladin. I said that it was because of you that I was letting him go. But I know that's not true. When I had seen the other automatons, the scrapped remains, something in me, I felt it was wrong. I lied to him and myself. It wasn't just you pushing me forward. I feel like he needs to be saved as well. But my heart is... it hurts thinking about the children already gone.
To grieve, to anger, those are normal emotions. I cannot put my influence in this world more than I already have. But remember this, my child. When the night glows bright, retribution and redemption will be achieved.
I will stare at her enormous head and repeat it back to myself quietly and say, I will ensure to remember that. I apologize for showing such disgrace in front of you.
And you feel this almost, again, smile as you say this. And it goes, confusion, it's also natural. But I assure you, all will be right soon.
I thank you for comforting me. I receive your warmth so much. I sometimes don't know what to do with it. I feel undeserving. But I won't let that feeling of unworthiness hold me or pull me astray. As I vowed before, I will look forward. Through my acts, I will bring joy to others. I will use my strength to face uncertainty. I will be the sword for the people who need it. I will continue to protect and be their shield as well. I won't let anything change who I am. I will continue doing what I can.
And as you say this, you feel this small kind of giggle once again from the Titan. And it goes, I have enjoyed our talk, but you must not leave your friends waiting. We will meet again. And do remember my words. And as that happens, Ambrose, you take a deep breath and you feel your eyes closing by themselves. And then you are very abruptly shot back. Your body feels like you were falling. You get that like sensation of you falling. And then you just kind of gasp back as you are sitting in front of Chi once again with your sword in your hands, and she laughs at the reaction. And she goes, okay, well, how did it go?
It takes me a moment to collect myself once more as I kind of look around and start to recognize that I am back on the floor of, well, the earth here, of the, I suppose, wilderness. And I will look up towards the sky. My questions are not completely answered, and I will look over to Chi. But I feel at least a small weight taken off my shoulders.
And she goes, well, that's usually how the talks with the mother go. And you can see her, like, twiddling her thumbs and just kind of looking from side to side. And she goes, and I am assuming you have to leave as well.
I will need to return to my friends. And I'll kind of like look down at the sword, and one hand kind of like the thumb kind of pressed against the top of the flat of the blade, and I will glance over at Chi and say, though a part of me doesn't really want to leave your sight.
She also laughs at that, and she goes, I know, duty comes first. But don't worry. We will meet again. Once more. Because, well, I am someone who keeps their promises. And she stands up slowly as, she also looks around kind of. You can catch the feeling that she heard something. She doesn't look like hostile towards it or like scared of anything. And she goes, I also have to get going.
I understand. I hope to see you soon. And do not forget my own promise to you. Well, I think I've been learning a bit more about my emotions. I think I'll be able to have a more pleasant conversation with you soon.
And she goes, hopefully. For now, I bid you farewell. And the next time we meet, let's hope it's in a better place. And she leans closer to you, Ambrose, to give you a flick on the forehead. And your vision immediately goes dark, and you feel like you gently fall back, rather than being just shot in a random direction. And you feel as you land against something, and you open your eyes, and now you are back in the bed that you slept.
I will lay in the bed rather contently, thinking about the dream. Still a bit unused to having something that I would consider a pleasant dream. Even if it begged many questions, and even if it has given me new information, I lay comforted, and I revel in what I was able to see and hear.
Yeah, and as you wake up, you are in the same room that you pretty much just slept. You see that it is morning once again, and you already hear movement around the house. Probably the small mechanical servants are already doing their duties as the house starts becoming literally animated as the day goes along.
I know, technically speaking, Kipper is in bed with me, as he decided to jump in.
Technically speaking, yes. He is
Unfortunately,
very
he is not
asleep
actually
right now,
present.
yes. He is very asleep right now.
I will sit up after a minute or two of just laying there, and I will say, kind of muttering to myself, I wish I could be a bit more honest. Another time.
And as he said, Kipper is very asleep. So like, even if you like move around, you see the little bunny man not waking up.
I will sit for a bit, and finding that he is quite out of it currently, I will gently pull him off of me, that way I don't accidentally wake him, and I will start getting ready for the day.
Yeah. What about you, Rexmoa? What do you do as you wake up?
I think I'm gonna be pretty, anal about this, hiding all the suspicious stuff business. So Rexmoa would have woken up, and then he would have started checking over the lab, the workshop space, and from there, like if he doesn't see anything unusual or worth reporting to Borealis, he would probably just patiently await all his EP companions in the dining room. Maybe talk to Percy.
What are you searching for, like, specifically?
Basically anything just related to the plague, the outbreak, anything related to like fighting the infected, any potentially like small plans or like documents that Borealis or the other automatons might have missed?
I want you to give me an investigation check, as you are... I'm assuming you went very early, correct?
Yeah, Rexmoa is an early riser. He doesn't
Okay,
need
okay,
too much
okay,
sleep.
okay.
All right, so investigation.
All right. With that investigation check, you wake up early. The sun has not even come out yet. It's this early. You exit your room very quietly and then move over to the study where Borealis always keeps her things. Obviously, the study has another room to get you to like the workshop area and things like that. So you know where to go at this point. The house is very quiet. Not a soul can be heard. It's, as I said, most of the staff right there are robots, as you know. So most of them are probably off for the night, or they may be activated by certain other things. And as you go into as you go into the study, the first thing that you notice is obviously the large amount of books. Let me put you into this thingy right here. Oh, you're probably gonna see the drawings. You would see obviously the large amount of books in the bookshelves on top of like her desk. Some of them are open in some pages, and it's kind of messy. But it is a mess that of somebody who's been reading a lot. As you start looking through these books to see if you can find anything relevant, you do see one of the books in this desk that is open in one of the pages. The book itself is kind of older than the rest of the books. The pages look also very old, but surprisingly well preserved. And as you start browsing this book, you notice that the book itself is what Borealis had told you a little bit ago. It talks about the Titans, it talks about the stones, and it talks about some other curiosities that Borealis had shown you. And as you flip through the pages, you can see more things about, the most relevant to you would be that once noticing not like a diagram, but like a drawing. It is clearly like almost handmade of one of the stones of the Titan. And the diagram shows kind of like a quote-unquote dissected view of it, where the outside, the jagged gemstone looking outside, is kind of cut in half. And on the inside you see another smaller gem illustrated in this page. And the text in the book mentions how the outer shell is pretty much indestructible, and the inner gem is the actual stone. And that one is, has unknown properties.
Yeah, I feel the gem within my copper armlet, and I just think about, all the untapped power that's within it that I haven't really fully understood how, I guess, significant it really is.
The book itself, as you keep flipping through pages, you find more information of things that you've already known, things that you've already seen. Talking about legends and stuff that you've already heard about. And at some point, the pages go blank, as if, the book is either had too many pages or has not been done being written. But
so wait, did you say it was it a collection of Borealis's notes, or was it something she annotated?
No.
Someone else wrote?
This is a book that you've already seen Borealis tell you about. Like, she found this book in one of her like many bookcases, and she was like, "Oh, well, look at that!
Look at me!"
Exactly. And as I said, as you keep flipping through the pages, some of the pages start appearing blank, as you know, there is nothing in there. As I said, it could be that the book was larger than the information, or perhaps it has not been finished yet. But you are on a mission, as you are seeing how the, sunlight is starting to, the night sky is starting to fade for morning light. So you move into the the workshop, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And you're trying to investigate there. Any suspicious things, or like, what are you trying to look for in this workshop area?
Just like, I think half of it is going to be anything that could get Borealis and Rin in trouble if it was found from, like, the counselor. And also, if they left anything useful around, maybe they wouldn't mind me borrowing it.
Give me another investigation check, please.
Will do.
All right. With that investigation check, you start looking around. Oh, by the way, as you enter into this workshop area, you would see some other mechanical beings, little robot guys that are working. These ones do not seem as complex or as human-like as, for example, Percy or any other of the automatons that you've seen around the city. These ones are more simple and designed with simpler purposes. You can see some of them are just taking notes. Some of them are moving things around, handing them over to others that are maybe assembling something. Others are mixing chemicals into vials and things like that. The robots, however, don't really seem to care that you are there. They probably have a directive, and they're making it so. They are very quiet and doing their things. You can only hear like the little, like the moving of their parts, but there is like very little sound. They clearly are programmed in such a way that they work efficiently and very precisely. As I said, such is the way that they don't really care that you are around. You see them moving around, you see them doing their things, and you even like walk past a few of them and they're like doing whatever they're doing.
All right, so these don't really have a personality like Percy
No.
does.
Yeah, exactly. You can see, like I said, they're much more simply built. They're like, like boxes with like little arms or things like that. It's just something much more simple, not like an actual humanoid machine. And as you're looking around, obviously the most obvious thing that you know is that in one of the doors of this workshop, there is the quote-unquote operating room with the stretcher that has the comatose body of Borealis and Rin's friend. You do know this, so...
yeah, so it's not too much of a surprise. It's just,
exactly.
a comatose corpse of a monkey.
Just the comatose corpse on a freaking operating table. It's nothing suspicious at all.
Yeah,
What do you
I haven't
mean?
seen before.
Exactly. And as you enter, obviously, you do see the remains of the actual, sentient, now robot, just kind of hanging from like a kind of like a harness, kind of like what you see in the image right there. It's kind of like a harness thing, because obviously the robot itself only has one arm and half of a torso and a head. And while it is glowing with the white light that all the automatons in this place emit, it seems that it is like shut off. It is resting. But it is there, kind of like hanging next to this body. His body, I should say.
I think I just like poke the robot out of curiosity.
As
The
okay,
answer to everything. Poke the thing.
Yeah, I just gotta. I'll try.
as you poke the robot, I want you to give me either a dexterity or a strength save, please.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna take the dex save.
Yeah, I figured. God damn, Jesus Christ. Let me see something real quick.
This man's got moves.
This man got moves. Good lord. Okay. Well, okay. So as you poke the robot, you get your hand close. You're about to touch the robot when you hear the moving part of its arm about to grab you, but you just kind of, just slightly were able to move back to the point where it just barely misses. And the robot is now back on as it stares at you. And it goes, and it's, you know, kind of glitchy and like very not distorted, but what's the name of the compressed? Yes, and it's very like compressed radio voice. It goes, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, I was just making sure everything is, proper. As you might have heard, there is an inspection at an unknown time, presumably sooner than later, however. And I just wanted to help the Lady Borealis and House Trishul in an attempt to, let's say, keep everything nice and tidy. I wasn't sure if you were awake or not, so...
I am always awake.
Wow, like, always? You know, I thought I was an early riser, but... I'm, kind of jealous, in a way.
And it goes, "I trust you're not here to rob."
Oh, like, take things? Oh, no. I'm not one for, possessions. I prefer to travel light, if at all possible.
Smart.
Well, since you do happen to be awake, I didn't really get the chance to introduce myself formally. You're Echoes, correct? The companion of Shining Trinket and Lady Borealis. We've heard a lot about you.
Good things, I hope.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rin has all kinds of nicknames for you. As a matter of fact, I did not know that someone could have so many nicknames with so many words that describe various odors and stenches.
You see him, like, clasp its fist at that, but it remains silent.
So you don't really remember, like, anything before all this?
I
just
remember.
gesture towards his, like, his metal body.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, "I remember a bright light, then darkness, then I was a machine.
And where was it you and Rin were exploring? Was it also the sewers as well? The lair of the shadow druids?
It nods its head and goes, "We had found some odd technology. I think," and you kind of hear the sound of like their mechanisms trying to process something. You know, like when a computer just like has a lot of processing load, that whirring sound of everything just kind of processing.
Yeah, whenever I open anything on my computer.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much, yeah.
That's how it feels right now with my PSU failing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. But yeah, you hear that sound and it goes, "I remember. It didn't work. Then and you feel like the machine kind of twitches." And it kind of shuts itself off for a second, like, you know, it goes like limp for a second and then it goes back up. And it goes, "I don't remember."
We believe that what happened to you might have implications for the future of Port Strail. It seems the Saints and the other noble houses have something planned, but we're not sure about the nature of it. And, well, we believe that you perhaps might be key to understanding.
I know we were investigating the kidnappings, but I don't know what happened after that.
Nothing good, it would seem. Unfortunately, we don't have too much answers. Is there anything you would like to know about, Port Strail? Perhaps put your mind at ease? I don't know too many places around the upper district, but me and my companions have had plenty of time to get to know the lower district and the scholars district. The orphanage, it's not there anymore. I don't know if you missed that place, but my condolences if you did.
Port Strail is filth. I never liked this place.
Yes, it does seem quite filthy is definitely the appropriate word.
Were it not for Rin or Borealis, I probably would have left this place a long, long time ago.
So, stayed because of your family then? Yes. Well, do you regret it at all?
No. I found a family here. And that is all I care about. The rest of the people, not my concern.
Rexmoa just offers a solemn nod to that sentiment. It is a powerful thing. The things that, tie us down to this world. Before all this, I have a family, but it would be more accurate to say I was still a adventurer and a wanderer at heart. It would always be, just one last expedition, much to the dismay of my spouse.
Let's hope you don't end up as a machine.
Oh no, I would hope not. this old body has its fair share of issues, but, well, I take it that being in there isn't really as enjoyable, is it?
I feel nothing. Not even the breeze of the air.
Oh, well, how did you know that I was gonna do something then?
I am a machine. I have sensors.
So you can see without sight?
And it nods its head.
Hmm. Well, I am curious if you could entertain me such a question. Previously, I had used an invisibility potion to try to hide from automatons like you are now. I'm curious if that would actually work or not against more advanced ones, such as you and that counselor.
I've never liked technology.
I can't really say I'm the biggest fan either.
I don't know how they work.
If only I had another invisibility potion to consume, we could do, great science. I'm not sure what your opinion on the arts is, but perhaps with your new found form, you might find it a suitable career path for yourself. I once knew a scholar back at home who they lost their legs, but they still continued to publish writings for many years after the fact.
I don't like art.
Is there anything you do like?
No.
I could bring you some flowers. Or a book. Rin likes books. Or I think she likes books. I don't really know what she likes. I just know that what she doesn't like.
I like my family. And that's it.
Well, you definitely picked a good one. Or perhaps they picked you. A bit of advice, though. I don't know if you have strong feelings towards the noble houses or the counselor, but if anyone happens to stumble upon this place, it might be better if you don't react, or perhaps, what would Percy say? You know Percy, right?
Of course, he's part of the family.
Yeah, that was mostly the nature of my visit now. Yeah, not trying to pilfer or anything. That'd be quite rude. Just making sure everything is nice and neat in case anything happens before we head out.
If the nobles do come here, I cannot guarantee I would try to murder them.
You remind me a lot about, a lot of my companions, actually. Not a lot of good impulse control. No offense. Just, thinking out loud.
Not offended. It's true.
Would you be offended if I put, like, a tarp over you, maybe?
If I get my body back, I would try and strangle you.
I didn't want to play this card too soon, but me and Rin happen to get along really well, so I think that would be much to her dismay. I also kind of I know someone who owes her money, and they just enjoy me. I think I'm a better at handling that, and I would hate for Rin to, lose some gold over a misunderstanding. So I think I'm just gonna take that tarp over there, and I'm gonna put it over you, and maybe just I'll be right back.
And he just kind of shakes its head as well. He can't do anything really, so.
You can feel the grumble that
Yes,
doesn't actually
exactly.
Don't worry, I will let your family know the actions I took, and I'm sure they will come back and deal with it accordingly. I say as I, just drape the. It's probably just like some dirty
Yeah,
cloth
just
that's
like
in there.
like a tarp or like a cloth or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really react, but you can still see like the light coming from like underneath there. And it goes, I will get you.
I'm gonna talk to Lady Borealis, and I walk out of the room. But I do, I just quickly examine the body, just because I am curious about how they said it doesn't seem to decay at all.
Oh,
do I sense anything?
Give me a history check
Mhm.
before that, just so I can answer your question properly, to see how much I can.
Irony.
Okay. Well, I will say, you do. The only thing that you can remember is that Borealis would keep this body in stasis for it to not decay. As for
is there
you,
a slightly more suitable tarp that I could place over this one?
well, it's
not a
already
great idea,
it's
though.
already covered on with
Okay.
a blanket, you know.
Perfect.
But yeah, I mean, as I said, the only thing that you know that you can remember properly is that they said that Borealis keeps the body in stasis. The rest is, what you can remember of him.
I think I'm gonna actually try to find Borealis and just report that, hey, I was looking around and just making sure things were in proper order. And
I just put a blanket over the guy that wants to kill me.
Hey, by the way, Echoes wants to kill me now.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
It was my fault.
Completely out of the blue. I don't know why he would say that to me.
I only had the best intentions.
Well, I mean, at this point, as I said, morning is already upon you, and as you exit the quote unquote operation room, obviously there are more robots around already, kind of doing the daily duties. You can tell that they're programmed to act at certain times of day. And obviously, the first thing that you see is Percy entering the workshop area, and it looks a little bit not surprised, but kind of not expecting you. And it goes, "Good morning. Are you lost?"
Good morning. No, I was just doing a little due diligence and helping out around the shop, covering up anything that might be a little suspicious. And I have a question, Percy. If there was an automaton that wanted to strangle me, would that be possible? Can automatons hurt people?
Depending on their programming. Yes. Lady Borealis has programmed me to protect her. So anybody who tries to harm Lady Borealis could get strangled by me.
Oh, if I was getting strangled, would you help me?
If Lady Borealis wants me to.
Perhaps that's something I should talk to her about. Would you happen to know where she is at the moment? I know it's quite early in the day, but to be frank, I'm not sure if that woman sleeps.
She should be close to waking up.
Okay.
You may wait for her in the dining area.
That sounds Wonderful. What's for breakfast?
And he looks around and says, I haven't checked with the kitchen yet. Perhaps I should do so.
It's all right. I enjoy surprises, just not, this. And he holds his hands in front of him like a strangling motion, just like not those kinds of surprises. And one last question before I head over to the dining room. In your opinion, between Ekos and Rin, which one of them was the more well-tempered one?
Lady Rin, of course.
Of course.
Sir Echoes would have murdered me a couple times if he could.
Yeah. You would have to be quite the fellow to get in that on our dear lady's bad side.
Indeed. He does not like machines.
Well, I could tell that's why he's having so much fun in there.
Is there anything else I can help you?
Yes. Are my companions still asleep? Have you seen or heard from them? That's quite early.
I believe one of them is. The rest seem to be asleep.
Well, we did have a long day yesterday. It's best to let a sleeping adventurer lie, as they say.
Your room is being cleaned as we speak, since you were already out. But perhaps your companions can join you for this morning.
Okay, thank you, Percy. Keep an eye out for any one-armed robots.
He completely ignores it and just goes over to check on the work of the other machines.
Yeah, I guess I'll just proceed to the dining hall.
Yeah. At this point, Ambrose, you would have also started to, do your own thing. Rising and doing your morning ritual, and obviously a little robot would just instruct you to go to, have some breakfast. As they would be cleaning your room.
I'll thank the little guy and glance at Kipper, who is still sleeping, and probably bundled up in the blanket that he took and my blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And I will proceed out of the room. And I'll just go straight to the dining room area. I won't go elsewhere for now.
Yeah, eventually, you would meet up with Rexmoa in the manor.
Good morning, Rexmoa.
Good morning, Ambrose. I hope your rest proved to be, restful. I know you had quite a different day than the rest of us.
I had better rest than I'm used to.
Wonderful.
Actually, I spoke with Vithius.
Oh. And what did she have to say?
I was back in the Feywild again. At least I think that's what it is. And she was seemingly wanting to know if I had any questions. So I asked how I could help the Titans, and how to set things right in this world.
Absolutely fascinating that you've been able to visit the Feywilds, even in your dreams. I wonder if this has to do with your connection with, your master and Chi, that them residing in the Feywilds might have perhaps enabled you to establish a connection of some kind, along with, being a paladin of Vithius.
I am unsure. I know that my father was granted passage thanks to Chi. I'm unsure if it's something that Vithius gave to me or something I did myself. I don't really know much about the powers granted by the shards beyond, well, the obvious. And I'll just kind of like point to the sword that's on my back, of course, as I don't really go around anywhere without it. I can use it to protect others, but not really sure what else.
Yes, I've been thinking about my stone's latent potential as well. I mean, even my dear companion, and I gesture towards the window and you can see a little, bird with a little tinge to it. Our little oral companion over there was something I've never been capable of achieving before, but yet the stone allows me to reach into Horus's domain and, I guess, pluck a servant from them, as it were.
You have had a bird traveling with you recently. I was a bit curious of it. I'll kind of like look at my hands and let the kind of warmth appear in them. I suppose I can bequeath her warmth unto others now.
I'm curious about what additional, benefits we might find from having these stones. I mean, which is also to say the fact that, mine carries the fortunate and unfortunate condition that it's what keeps me anchored to this world, it would seem.
Well, without it, you would have been lost long ago.
Indeed.
Back to the monastery, I still feel a slight chill run down me.
Yes, it's not something that I've, forgotten, really. I try not to let it haunt me, as it were, but, you don't exactly come out of an experience like that without being a little changed.
Yes. I have had my fair share of near-death experiences, but don't think any of mine have been quite that close. I am fairly certain you left this realm for a bit longer.
I try not to pay too much mind to such things, Ambrose. Even though I do appreciate your empathy with the situation. Have you given any thought to, what we should do today? I don't really know if Taurin and Kipper have risen from their slumber as of yet, but I was just in the workshop earlier. That Echoes character, they're very strong-willed, and also, in case you didn't know, they're always awake.
Unsure of Taurin, but Kip decided to bunk with me, and he is definitely still asleep. I had been meaning to give Echoes a visit. I actually know him from my childhood.
Oh, really? What a twist.
wouldn't say we were close by any means, but I do know him by name.
Well, perhaps they might have a better affinity for you than poor old me.
Unsure. From the little I remember of him, we were at the orphanage for a bit of time together, and he left before I did. On his own. He is a lot braver than I was back then.
I wonder how he met up with Lady Borealis and Rin. If, he ventured out when they were still outside of Port Strail, or if he met them while he was here.
And as you guys are saying this, Rin shows up and she goes, well, I met him in an alleyway. He was getting beat up and ended up beating people up. That's about that.
Hello, Rin. I can imagine that, even from his younger years.
Random question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is their efficacy at strangling people with one arm?
I will give you a weird look.
Wait,
It's important.
For echoes?
Yeah, for echoes.
Oh, it's very effective. He's killed a couple of people like that, I believe.
Oh, wow. Well, that's not someone that I would want to get on the bad side of.
No, you don't. That's why he was hired as, part of our lovely team of guards. As you can see, we're very little because we are effective at our job.
I can't find myself to disagree.
I could say the same about our group of company. Kipper is good at watching our backs. Taurin can turn into a bear. You are likely the fastest thing I've seen.
Wow, thank you.
Efficiency with your hands are certainly better than mine.
Wow, it's just something you learn with age. Were we not, lad?
Your wisdom is something also to be inspired by.
Oh my goodness, where is this coming from?
Well, I suppose I have started to dislike part of how quiet I am. I think all of you are deserving to know of your greater qualities.
What a wonderful thing to go along with breakfast. Speaking of, Lady Rin, do you happen to know what's on the menu?
Well, unfortunately for you, you might be having a later breakfast. Well, I have heard around, I came from outside, that there's a bit of a commotion going around here in the upper city, and I want you all to investigate, because I need to stay here and make sure Borealis is good for that supposed inspection.
Oh, what kind of a commotion?
No clue. Somebody said it was a little bit of a problem with some citizens. Could be just a very ugly fight, although those are not really common here in the upper city.
I wonder if it has to do with the Inventors Fair.
Maybe. I am not sure. I couldn't check.
Oh, well, I suppose if it's important, then we could head over right away. You can tell Taurin and Kipper where we are, right? I mean, you always seem to have a knack of getting around and spreading information where it's most important.
Yeah, I'll let them know. Don't worry. We'll be a little busy with this whole thing, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing you guys can't handle.
Oh, thank you. Hear that, Ambrose? I'm sure this will just be like, we'll be back before breakfast even gets cold.
After the events of last night, I'm not sure what would really be easy anymore.
Don't worry. I'll believe for the both of us.
Well, I suppose I will have to take advantage of that then.
Okay, I think we should just get out there.
Yep, fine by me.
Mm-hmm. So Rin just kind of waves you off as, you guys start heading outside to the city. Obviously, it is early in the morning. We're talking about like 7 a.m. probably. It's, very, very early in the morning. So there's not a lot of things going on. Oh, yeah, what are we going to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when we're going to the location described, I want to have a small conversation with Rexmoa.
Okay, yeah, sure. If you guys are gonna talk on the way there, sure thing.
Yeah, do you want to describe first? I didn't mean it up to you, I just wanted to make sure, because
you already know.
Sometimes it will lead directly into something happening.
Well, you already know what the upper city looks like. You've already been here for a few days, so you kind of, while you haven't had the chance of properly explore a lot,
Rexmoa has a little bit more experience, actually. He did, with Taurin, look throughout the town.
Exactly. The place described, it said it was by the docks of the upper city, around one of the walls leading into the lower city.
Okay.
So you guys could probably just find your way over there.
Okay. Once we get out of, I'd say like out of sight of House Trishul, I will kind of speak up and say, do you mind if I ask you a question, Rexmoa?
Oh, yeah. Go for it, Ambrose.
I don't want to pry, and I won't go further than this. Not unless you allow me to, of course. But a bit ago, when we were talking about Cismero, you had a certain reaction. You don't need to explain it. I just want to make sure you're okay.
I guess with all the turbulence, I haven't really had too much time to ruminate on it. Well, I wouldn't call myself okay, but, well, I have a different perspective on the matter. I still don't necessarily think what Lady Borealis had to say was completely true, nor do I think it's completely false. After all, when you're a scholar, you have to go into things with an open mind, which I wasn't very capable of doing at the time, but now that I've had a little while to think about it, I still don't really think that she's correct.
I am not sure. I am not a scholar. Most of my education is survival in on the roads and the wilderness, and learning to read and write when I was younger.
Hmm.
But I want to make it clear to you at least that I am here for you, whether it be to help you find your way back, or just to provide the little comfort I can currently.
Thank you very much, Ambrose. I know I shouldn't be keeping these such things to myself any longer. I guess I can be honest and say that is quite upsetting to hear someone say that your, home and place of birth and location to your people and its culture, and just saying that it doesn't exist anymore. I mean, how would you feel if someone said that Port's Trail was no longer right here, beneath our feet?
I will give you a look and start to say, no, I understand what you're saying, though for me it's Viren. I thought that when I found Viren, I would find a mindless creature. I think it's a bit like that for me. It would be painful and I wouldn't know what to do. I'm sorry that conversation even occurred in the first place, and I apologize for bringing it up again.
It's no issue. Ambrose, you shouldn't be too afraid to be, a curious soul. That's all about what being a scholar and a researcher entails, really. I wouldn't write yourself off from, not being such a thing either. I think you have a perfectly inquisitive mind. Just not when it comes to, I guess, the traditional subjects, such as, mathematics or navigation or, perhaps history. But, I've seen you shine brightly on the battlefield. You certainly know your way around a blade as well. All those things are kind of education in motion.
Yes, for a while I thought I only had my way of the sword. Unfortunately, it was the only thing I really managed to learn from my father. Well, I suppose that's not completely true. I got to learn to be myself. I learned morality. Though, I appreciate your words. My proper education is lacking, and I want to learn more.
Well, when this is all over, perhaps you and the local college could strike a deal. I mean, there's already a bunch of orphans occupying the classrooms. I'm sure a way to lead the children of the lower district into the scholars district and get them the resources they need could be arranged when we, take care of all this stuff.
Yes. Recently, it's become clear to me. I am going to return here after everything is over. I am going to replace the orphanage that was here. Take the corruption and malice that formed that place. And I am going to make one with Vithius in mind. A sanctuary to life and education.
A noble goal, and, well, just goes to show how powerful having a place to call home is. And I fully intend to return to Sea's Marrow as well. I think that's what really keeps me going through all this. You know, we've seen some terrible, terrible things, and I can understand if you have a complicated relationship with Fort Strail. But even if things aren't perfect, we, people like us, just feel the need to make things better, right?
Yes. Originally, I wanted to stay as far away. What was that I said? Port Trail was a prison for me. It still is. But it's also a prison for the inhabitants that we see here.
Yes, even the people in the upper district don't fully know what gilded cage they reside in.
Yes. Currently. And I say this a bit quieter. Currently, the Saints are ruling over a country of corpses. I don't even see the benefit of it. What is the point in a country where walls do not serve the purpose of protection?
We can probably see like the Tower of the Saints from here, right? It just like looms over everything.
The command tower is, yeah, I mean it's there. You guys are in the upper city. You are close to the command tower.
Hence why I say that, like, under my breath. Loud enough for you to hear it, but I don't want any, passerbys hearing that statement.
I will admit I'm still rather conflicted on what can even happen in a place like this. But, well, it would be nice if things, didn't get totally destroyed, as in typical fashion when we're involved. I would like for a peaceful transition and for these walls that separate everyone to come down, but, well, between you and me, I don't really think they're going to do that on their own.
I think the Inventors Fair was a eye-opening experience for those that stand on that tower. Were it not for House Trishul, they might have had a rebellion on their hands.
Rexmoa just smiles a little bit. Yeah, it did seem that way.
So,
yeah.
sorry, no, continue. Finish that.
I was just going to say, I can't exactly blame them. I've lived here part of my life, after all. That's all I was going to say.
Good. So, as you guys approach the site of the commotion, you see, as I said, it is morning. People are already out and about doing things. While the upper city has a lot less citizens than the lower city, you still see that there is a kind of like a crowd of people and gathering on the spot. This has been recent by the fact that guards are just starting to show up and just kind of calming people down. As you arrive at the spot, the first thing that you see is let me put you guys into another map. Do I have another map for this? I don't think I do have another map for this. I'm gonna put you over here. Boop. The first thing that you guys can see is somebody on the ground. This is a man, a man on the ground. He is clutching at its leg, and there is some bleeding. And some people are trying to help him by dragging him away. And you can see what looks to be well, it doesn't look to be. You see it is a stray dog that is, you know, being very hostile towards people. You can see like some automatons are trying to grab it and they're just like, you know, barking at them and just moving back. And amidst the commotion, you can see that like people were like, oh my god, the dog just went crazy and it just, you know, doesn't let himself be caught and things like that. You can overhear this as you guys are walking through. But as you guys like move past the people and just kind of start to see what's up, you see that one of the automatons tries to grab the dog. The dog just kind of bites into it and just kind of shakes him a little bit and then lets it go. Obviously, it's not a human. The robot is not going to back down by a bite. It's, you know, doesn't feel the pain. But the most interesting thing that you guys can notice is the fact that the skin of the dog has a regular movement. And now that you notice it even closer, the dog is in a shadowy area.
So does it look like no one's really in danger right now? Or at least no one that's, like, made out of flesh?
Well, there is
someone
one
got bit.
person with a bite wound.
Oh yeah, well, they're alive. Ugh. I think Rexmoa is gonna rush over and attend to the person who is currently bleeding.
Rexmoa, why don't you give me a medicine check, please?
This is something I'm good at. Supposed to be.
You got it.
All right,
See, you got it.
Yeah. Rexmoa, you push your way through and you go like, "Hey, I'm a healer. I know things about healing and stuff like that." And the people just kind of move away. They're obviously, you can see they're nobles. They're like people with money. They don't really know how to act in these situations most of the times. And it goes. You lean down to check up on the person that has been bitten. He's like, god damn it, that stupid dog just bit me. I was trying to get it to someplace safe. I think it got lost. I don't know where it came from and things like that. You can see he's still fine. But as you approach and inspect the wound, there is blue coloration around the bite wound.
Would you happen to be doing anything the rest of the day?
The man goes, well, besides work, no, I don't think so. Is it that bad? It's only a bite wound, right? And he's just kind of like staring. For the man, don't really look like much. It's just a bite wound, but you have a little bit more knowledge on this.
Trying to think. Does it look like this just happened? As in, like...
Yes, the
still,
bite
like,
wound
actively bleeding?
is... With the medicine check, I can tell you, the bite wound is very fresh. Like, yeah, it is actually still bleeding. It's a bite wound. If you've been bitten by a dog, you probably know how it looks like. It's kind of sucks, but, you know, it do be like that. It is very fresh. And you can already see it happened like moments ago. How the wound has already taken a blue coloration.
Is this person who got bitten, are they currently in the sunlight?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I would like to attempt to tie a tourniquet and tie it above wherever the bite wound might be.
It was around like the calf area, so it would be like the knee probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So try to tie it around there. I'm just going to tell him, no need to be too concerned. I'm just trying to restrict the blood flow for now. You never know, well, what kind of things wild animals might be carrying, and it was a very noble thing of you to try to bring that dog to safety.
Right. Yeah, no, I understand. Well, take me to the healer then. I don't know.
Okay. Is Ambrose nearby?
I mean, you should be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say that I was going to start going towards the animal.
Okay. I will just quickly pose a question to you and ask, do you have a way to contact Lady Borealis?
No, only Taurin.
Darn my lack of ears. I think we should definitely make sure that the dog gets handled properly. We might not be able to help them, but at least we can try to help this person. As far as I know, well, bringing them back to the estate might be their only hope.
I agree.
As you guys are having this small conversation while deciding what to do, you see that one of the robots has grabbed the dog and you're just kind of holding it like, you know, kind of like when you hug a dog by like the belly. Kind of just like, you know, the dog is, you know, squirming and struggling and trying to break itself loose, but this is a robot. The thing has a very good grip on it. And as it pulls it over to the sunlight outside of the shaded area, you hear the dog like start squealing as you feel the steam coming out of it as, you know, it is
running towards them.
towards the
automaton and the dog.
Okay. As you do this, Ambrose, as I said, you hear the dog like squealing and squirming.
Yeah.
And once you run over to as you are running towards the automaton, you see the dog itself kind of... The best way I can describe it is that the dog splits open. And it just turns into a mass of flesh that starts crawling through the automaton to go back to the shade. And it rearms itself.
May I use Voice of the Earth?
Okay.
My charm divinity.
Alright. Alright, let's see. I can tell you, unfortunately, that this specific creature, is not that intelligent.
Okay. Wasn't sure, but...
Yeah, so as I said, you were going to try and do that, but the other thing that you notice is as you see the squirming, the bones cracking, crunching, and the thing, people start freaking out. Rexmoa, by the way, you are also, as you hear people starting to freak out, you see what is happening in front of you.
I am going to keep chasing it down, by the way.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. As soon as the dog reaches what is the shade, you see behind it there is what I can only describe you as a leaking pipe that starts spewing blue liquid. And this liquid starts to form itself into a being. And we're going to leave it right there because I don't have a lot more time. I have to sleep for my work tomorrow.
Darn you, work.
Who needs that?
I know. Yes, sir. Oh boy. Interesting.
It's been a while since we've encountered these things.
Oh yeah. I
don't miss them.
Don't think I have forgotten. Yes, sir.
Well, I guess now the upper city will be able to also see what the heroes in the lower city was doing.
That is very true. That is very true. All right. So, we're gonna say goodbye to the people watching the VODs on the YouTube channel. Goodbye.
Bye, VOD Squad.
And we will see how you guys solve this issue on the next one. Yeah.